This is what we call an edit. Ed. Remember Yellow Rose talked about Ed the editor. E, like electrons, energy. D, hub server D. I, information. T, technology. Edit. Edit your movie. Edit your story. Edit your comment. Edit the movie player. Welcome to Hollywood. That's what they do. Go ask any director when he's with what? A film editor. They look, in the olden days, they go through the, as I remember, they were shooting films back in the day, and when I grew up in the 50s, with, I believe it was 75 millimeter cameras. I used to love photography. ISO speeds, frame rate speeds, holographic inserts, frame rates, reel to reels, binary codes. Let's run a simulation. Go experience the movie. And by the way, I downloaded a movie yesterday from, what is it called? Pirates Bay, right? See, everything's already been paid for. See, that's a whole nother discussion. I pay my own debts. Okay. When you're the law one, we cover a lot of debts. Okay. That's why when Rose said a little while ago about what it means to sit, you're at the gate, you're at East Gate, the doors are open, and I'm going, yeah, Rose, but I cover my own debts. Okay, so I figure you know how that works, right? When you're a mated chip. And she showed what a mated chip is, right? So there's plenty of energy in the cosmos to cover the debt when you're the law of one, right? Which means you're an eternal love vibration. So you know what it is we cover. Cover the table, you know, the gambling casinos, cover your debts, right? Polarity integration, right? Transmute anything that's anything less than what love is, which is what being one is, right? That's right, Neo and Trinity. So I forgot a few things because this is how it works. Everything is always connected to so much other stuff. It's like, man, I got to pull it back in. It's okay, so edit the movie. So I'm going to edit the movie. Actually, I'm not really editing, but I am editing. But all it is information that was left out of the stream, which is called the sequences of the information that are tied to the tree. The branch directory, the tree of creation, the branch directories, the branch of mankind, right? The branch of reptiles, the branch of snakes. Look at everything in nature. All the bugs, spiders, arachnoids, right? So I was mentioning about my mother going to finishing school. And so when you're androgynous, you're essentially like a blender, an authorizer. Okay. In other words, there isn't any separation between Neo and Trinity, which is the girl, base and alkaline. So you know that you love to run a high-speed transmitter, right? Yeah. You want to be a powerful antenna because you want to spread love everywhere you go, right? So you want to activate all the codes, activate the 12-strand codes, 144,000 frequencies, baby. That means you're not leaving any space that isn't untouched by what love is. You're hitting every code with an eternal love vibration. Atom, cycling atoms at the high speed. Adam and Eve, paradise, Eden. So I mentioned something about my mother. She was a seamstress. She had a sewing machine. She knitted, crocheted, did all that, okay? She was very talented. And so naturally, I learned from her a lot of these skills that would consider to be girl house, doll houses. And then you get into Tonka trucks and military and all the rest of it, and you begin to see force, the games, you know, the separation. A tennis court has a net that separates one side and the other side. Okay, so now we're going to play a game. Winners and losers. Right? Okay, so that's your movie. Winners and losers. They're not one. They're fighting against each other about who's going to win. Okay? But you can play a game and have fun and maybe not have done as good as the other guy, but still know that, hey, it's okay. I'm using my energy to exercise and have fun shooting a basketball, throwing a football, right? So I could never figure out why it was a football player would choose to go get hurt all the time, because now that you go from, say, just playing football in the front yard, throwing it around, you can still get injured. Like I did one day when my knee hit a sprinkler pipe and tore it off. Didn't tore my knee off, but it dug in and created a bad bleeding injury. So there's always a certain amount of risk, right? But when you're on fire, it's like Superman. You know that you're going to heal quickly because you're running on such powerful energy. So the point is, in the edit of this torsion field movie is like an add-on, what we call an add-on, added on, because this is a separate video, right? Was when I made reference to my mother being a seamstress. So when I was 13 years of age, and this is how you get into the copycat stuff, for example, of when you go into a department store and you're using your electrons or the money that's in your account or in your purse, or you use a credit card, a magnetic strip, to pay for something, which means that's an exchange. Exchange. Now you get into bills in Congress, bill exchange. So you go to a department store, you see something that's beautiful that you want to wear, that's going to represent what others will see, including what you see in your own mirror, right? And so I realized what a pattern is, a geometric pattern. So I went down to a pattern store, a fabric shop, and I chose colors. The colors that I wanted to put the pattern together to wear a shirt that I put together, and I was going to wear that shirt to school. And the irony of this is the first shirt that I put together with a sewing machine using geometric patterns was a pink background with green circles, which back then were known as polka dots. Polka dots. Like if you go to New Orleans Square at Disneyland in Anaheim, they used to have what's called the polka dance, polka music, right? And so I put together a polka dot shirt that was pink and green. Now, if you fast forward from, when was that, 1963 to now, and then I mentioned how when I look up at the sun with my soul and I see, when I close my eyes, green, and then I can see the sun expanding pink. That's ironic, isn't it? It's like you're in a natural state of what it is that your consciousness, your soul, the essence of who you are, and the colors that represent what you know that you are, which is what love is that goes on forever. And why green and pink are associated with each other. Green is healing energy, and pink is a girl's flower that lives in my heart and soul, because as I said on a previous video, I lived through a girl's heart. That's Neo and Trinity joined as one. That's the center point of a vortex. That's the center point of a galaxy. That's the center point from which love, as atoms vibrating at the highest speed, are giving eternal love to Eve, to never be separated from the Trinity. 3 waves, 3 circles, 3 spheres in balance with the water worlds. Now you're running a really high torque speed. So you're spreading love everywhere you go. And that's called the law of least effort. It just comes natural. You don't even have to think about it. It's just the way that it works. So you know that it started with Adam and Eve. So when you realize H2 plus 1 is 3, H2O is water. Water world cools the engine down. Yeah. As we used to say in wildland firefighting, water cools the base. Cools the base. And you simply burn everything up because you're running so hot within that light, which is your mirror. That's an energy-directed mirror that's burning hot. So we got to cool the engine down. Yeah. Have a great day. Be good to yourselves. Hey, the sun's out. This is La Hoi Hoi. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful blessing to be here. Thank you all.